State your name and where you're from. And state your name and where you're from towards the camera. I'm not necessarily going to be on camera, but I'm going to ask you a couple questions about the impact this festival does for the city and how it brings all kinds of people together just on the basis of techno music. And I'm going to ask you what you know about the history of techno. It doesn't really matter, it's just we're trying to get everybody's opinion. Okay? How you doing today, sir? And your name is?
My name
You don't have to speak directly into it. You can just look at the camera. You don't have to speak directly into it. It'll catch your audio. Just look straight at the camera.
Hello, yes, my name is Tex Ritter, and I'm from Hamtramck, Michigan. And I think this festival does bring a lot of good because it does do a lot of attraction to a lot of people. And right now, I think today, this weekend now, everybody's out there having a good time. More people into the activities that's going on down here, and the music, and it's very good. I mean, I enjoy it myself, and I think it's 100% perfect. So I mean, it's the crowds are getting better and better and better at it. That's what it's getting better and it's getting good.
So I understand that it's all positive, huh? That's the final consensus.
Yes, 100%.
Bring it back next year, huh?
Yeah, next year it's going to be twice as better because we're going to try to beat that record. We are going to try to beat records and try and get as many to pack this place up. Like last night. Last night we had a good crowd. Friday, not Friday, but Saturday we had rain. We didn't care. Not to stop the show. We keep the show going. It's like we did the whole time. If it rained, we don't care. The show must go on. We always take the rain or shine.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you for your comments. So, you don't have to look at me, and just look at the camera. Tell me when you're ready. State your name.
My name's Edward Mainville.
Justin Crow.
Okay, where you from?
I'm from Ypsilanti.
Okay. What do you guys think about the DEMF Festival and what it does for the city of Detroit?
I think it's great for the city because it brings a lot of people down here. Like yesterday, there were so many people that you couldn't even walk around that wouldn't even come to Detroit normally. It's like we come down here all the time to like go to clubs and stuff and just hang out. And it's just cool to see this many people like interested in a city that no one comes to a lot.
I think it's real positive that you see all kinds of people from young to old. You know what I'm saying? All different types of people.
Yeah, it brings a lot of people from all over the world and all over the U.S.
You think that the festival should stay here and continue on to be an every year staple in the Hart Plaza Festival?
Well, I think it's gotten kind of big for Hart Plaza, especially after last night. But I think it should stay in Detroit, but it should be somewhere else or be moved to a larger area, maybe suburban outside Detroit, but I think it should stay in the city, at least in Michigan.
All right. Well, thanks for your time.
Yep, thank you.
Do you just want me to ask her? All right, I'm just gonna hold the mic here for you, and then I'm just gonna ask you questions.
Okay.
Are you ready? All right.
We're rolling.
How would you describe techno music?
Techno music is them, 2002. It's Paul Johnson. It's DJs all over the world, getting down, making people dance, having a blast.
Cool. Let's see. What is techno mean to you?
Hold on.
All right.
Music's the way of life. I actually spin records in Kalamazoo, Michigan, on the west side. So,
Me is like just a bunch of different sounds that people put together that put everyone on the same level, on the same brain length.
I believe techno is a higher form of communication. It just, everyone can understand what you're feeling if you make the music, and the music changes people and changes how you feel.
I think it's like, it roots back to like tribal African music.
Definitely tribal.
Definitely.
So, you guys are from Detroit?
Yeah.
Yep.
So do you know about Detroit's history in techno? You know that Detroit started here?
Yeah, definitely. I think like what's cool is it all started underground. Like lately, it's not underground anymore like it used to be, but
It's become way too.
it's something to be proud of, definitely. There's some like awesome talent down here.
It's way too commercial nowadays. You gotta have the underground. You gotta have the freedom to do what you want and stay up. You know, they got curfews. You don't need that. You know, if you're having a good time, you feel the vibe. You just go. You don't care about time. There is no sense of time. Time slows and everything slows.
Like something like this weekend is beautiful. That's free. 3 days of DJs, 76 DJs or something. Just a chance to bring all these people, all these different kinds of people together, and it just feels like you just walk through the people and you can feel everybody. And
You become one.
very-
You become one with the music and the people around you. The music is in you.
it's God.
Why do you think it started in Detroit?
I think Detroit, it spawns like so many different, it spawns individuals. There's a lot of individuals from here, and we're free to like shape and form things however we want, even though it's, not the norm. And that's why like a lot of famous people came from here, because we have that ability and chance.
All right, thanks a lot.
No problem, dude.
Michael.
Okay.
I'm Jericho. I'm from Auburn Hills.
Rich from Roseville.
What do you think about the DEMF festival? The positive thing for the city of Detroit?
Definitely. This the perfect showcase of the diversity of our city that we come from.
Yeah.
I mean, look around you. You got the river. You got history. It's just got a piece of everything.
Yeah.
Beautiful skyline. It's got good music, and having techno coming from Detroit ain't nothing better than that, man.
You guys always been techno fans, or
Right from back in the day.
back in the day?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Since it came up. Yeah, it's definitely good when you can bring this many people together for something like this,
Yeah.
Shows that there's still a community and there's still some kind of value there,
Okay. Yeah, good.
I mean, think about it. People come down here for country music 1 week. They're down here for techno. We got the Tigers going on.
Yeah,
Got the Pistons, the Wings. I mean, there's a lot to do in Detroit.
Yeah. All right, that's perfect, guys. Thanks a lot.
Coming to you live from the Detroit Electronic Music Festival. And we're with, your name please?
My name is Michael Rogers. I'm from St. Clair Shores, Michigan. Tony. He's my little brother.
Right on, little brother Tony. All right, what is techno? Definition, what is techno?
Techno? Techno's really hype, like electronic, keyboard music. I'll run through MIDI with keyboard, with computers and keyboards, and it's way underground and doesn't get no airplay on the radio, but it's awesome to dance to.
What does techno mean to you, Tony?
Very danceable. Yeah, it's very danceable, drum beats. I love the way it feels and everything. Yeah.
Where do you think techno began as an art form? What city, state, country?
Here, Detroit. Detroit.
Why do you think it began in Detroit?
We started all. This is where music. This is where, I don't know. Something's great about Detroit. Something in the air. I don't know. Maybe we breathe it and we all get weird. And start making different music.
The Detroit Historical Museum is putting on a techno exhibit starting in January. It's going to be here for 2 years and it's going to travel the world. How do you feel about that?
Cool. Very cool. Yeah. That's gonna be great, man. That's good. Finally, something people will enjoy seeing.
You guys going to come out and support it?
Hell yeah. Oh yeah. I'll be there.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank
Right
you.
on. Love and respect. Mic check 1. All right. We're here at the Detroit Electronic Music Festival with Alan Oldham and his fiancée. Your name, please?
Marina Tang.
Thank you. And we're just talking about electronic music. We wanted to get your perspective on it, on what you do. What brought you to the art form, first of all?
I don't know. I've always liked it. I was into house music back in the day, like a lot of us were. I came into it from a way different perspective because I did comic books originally. And I was an artist. I did some stuff back in the 80s, semi-professionally. And I happened to have grown up with some of the cats that started techno. And I took notice when they started making their own records and doing their own thing and DJing. And at the time I was at Wayne State, and I got an internship at WDET, which is the station at Wayne State University, and got involved with them, and eventually got my own show. And when I got my own show in 1987, and this is the same year that the first Detroit techno records and the first Chicago house records were coming out. So my show incorporated that music, and as time went on, I got deeper into it, started buying gear, learning how to use it, making my own tracks, spinning, and I think about 16 years later, here I am, you know?
Cool. How would you, how would you define techno versus house versus jungle versus drum and bass? You know what I mean? It's a little bit, some people don't really know.
I think, you know, techno is more like the rock music of electronic music. You know, it's a lot more aggressive and a lot more bass, you know, just really hard, you know, just nonstop. You know, I think that those are the hallmarks of techno. You know, house is kind of what you hear in the background, a little more laid back, a lot more like hi-hat work, drum work. A lot of house music also, like I saw Roy Davis Jr. play earlier, and a lot of the music he was playing, it incorporate like live percussion, live saxophone and horn parts. Another big thing with house music is there are like slow club versions of like Sade records and, you know, popular music. So I think that's kind of the difference between that. And jungle, it's even more faster and aggressive than techno, you know? And then jungle and ghetto tech are like right in that same, you know, you see a lot of jungle and ghetto tech DJs playing each other's records because it's parallel scenes. So each thing has its own different, like, you know, characteristic, you know?
How would you describe, or how would you define, or what does techno music mean to you? What should I say?
You mean techno? What does it mean to me? To me, it's a very exciting music. It's also emotional because a lot of artists, when they make the music, it's very emotional to them, and that's why it's a very personal thing to them, and it's something that they covet, you know. And I like the atmosphere of it and the energy it brings to the dance floor, and
party music.
Party music, basically. Yeah. So that's why I think about it.
Are you guys from Detroit? What people are saying that techno started in Detroit. What do you agree with that, and why so? And are you guys from Detroit?
Well, I'm from Detroit, born and raised, and you know, techno did begin here. It's the more, well, house music began in Chicago, obviously, but the Detroit sound was kind of more European in the beginning. You know, it took more craft work, Visage, Yellow Magic Orchestra, you know, a lot of the European music at that time. Detroit techno incorporated that music, you know, into it, you know. So I believe that Detroit techno was more progressive than Chicago house music. Chicago house music was more the modern version of like the Philly soul type scene of the 70s, but more updated into the 80s. That's kind of my take of house. But techno was more abstract and European, Detroit techno was, than the Chicago counterpart. But both cities do lay claim to inventing modern dance music as we know it.
And also, as you know, the Detroit Historical Society is putting on a techno exhibit that's going to have a grand opening in January. I want to know your feelings about that, both of you, and also your influences.
Okay. At home, the museum exhibit, you know, I was kind of asked to be a consultant for it, you know, just helping the museum people figure out in which order do things happen in the history. So I'm happy to be involved with that. You know, it's funny because now this music has become so tangible. You know, it's to the point now my mother understands what I do for a living. You know, I was quoted in books, you know, several people, like a friend of mine, Dan Seco, wrote a book called Techno Rebels, which is like kind of the Bible, the history of Detroit techno, and I was quoted in there a lot. and working with the museum. These are things that older people can get with. You know what I mean? And it's a legitimatizing thing, and I'm very happy about it.
Just a bunch of different sounds that people put together that put everyone on the same level, on the same brain length.
I believe techno is a higher form of communication. It just, everyone can understand what you're feeling if you make the music, and the music changes people and changes how you feel.
I think it's like, it roots back to like tribal African music.
Definitely tribal.
Definitely.
So, you guys are from Detroit?
Yeah.
Yep.
So do you know about Detroit's history in techno? You know that Detroit started here?
Yeah, definitely. I think like what's cool is it all started underground. Like lately, it's not underground anymore like it used to be, but
It's become way too...
it's something to be proud of. Definitely. There's some like awesome talent down here.
It's way too commercial nowadays. You gotta have the underground. You gotta have the freedom to do what you want and stay up, you know? They got curfews. You don't need that, you know? If you're having a good time, you feel the vibe, you just go. You don't care about time. There is no sense of time. Time slows and everything slows.
Like something like this weekend is beautiful. That's free. 3 days of DJs, 76 DJs or something. Just a chance to bring all these people, all these different kinds of people together, and it just feels like you just walk through the people and you can feel everybody. And
You become one.
very-
You become one with the music and the people around you. The music is in you.
it's God.
Why do you think it started in Detroit?
I think Detroit, it spawns like so many different, it spawns individuals. There's a lot of individuals from here, and we're free to like shape and form things however we want, even though it's, not the norm. And that's why like a lot of famous people came from here, because we have that ability and chance.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Like what you said.
What is techno music? How do you describe it?
I would describe it as a bunch of beats formed. I don't know.
What's good about it?
It's good to dance to. It depends. Most of it's cheerful. It's not very depressing, like a lot of the music, and it has a lot of good vibes and bad vibes.
I'm here for the hip hop. So there's my word count. Yeah. I'm trying to see dilated, but we're just saying watching. We're just here for everything, you know.
What do you feel about the mixture of the crowd here, old, young, white?
I like the mixture, but I don't think it should be an event where children are here.
In the daytime?
They shouldn't be bringing little babies out with the loud music, I don't think. But besides that,
Yeah, I like the
everybody else
mixture
is cool.
of different people from all over the place.
It's definitely a wild mixture of people up in here. It's interesting to walk around and check it out.
Yeah,
You know?
there's a lot of people that are really fun to look at.
You look forward to going to the event next year and the year after? As becoming a staple of the Heart Plaza festivals?
We like coming to Detroit.
Yeah,
Detroit
I
is
like
fun.
Detroit.
I
mean, this is my first time at this festival, but
Okay.
I mean,
Where you
I
guys
was
from,
definitely
actually?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh? Okay.
They don't have anything like this in Pittsburgh.
RadioHipHop.com.
They haven't said anything yet. What should I say? Good enough?
To ask him something about how techno makes you relax and stuff, because he's the champ of relaxation.
You got any thoughts?
About the techno?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say techno music is like a product of technology. It's like,
music born out of technology.
30 years ago, 40 years ago, they didn't have this kind of technology, so now it's hard beats and all that, and
Exactly.
yeah. I like the scene because it attracts a lot of open-minded people. And me, I distribute books on yoga and meditation, so it's sort of like people are interested, like it brings a lot of those people together.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's really hard to find those people, like, you know what I mean? Where are they, in society? And then all of a sudden there's millions of them at a big festival. It's nice,
Okay.
Yeah, so.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, just describe techno music.
Describe techno music.
That's our first question.
Okay, well, techno music to me is the spirit of my youth growing up in Detroit. As a young woman, you know, when I would go out, which wasn't ever a big, you know, clubber or party goer, but, you know, it was really, you know, when we did go out in the city, we just went to the club and we just danced. And I, you know, never knew. I just loved it. I never, you know, since I am, you know, the same age as Juan Atkins, you know, I, you know, have kind of grown up and evolved with them as they've grown. But I never thought about the artists. I would just go to the club and I would just dance. And I would dance until I couldn't dance anymore, until I was as sweaty and hot as I possibly could, because the beat was so incredible and so unlike anything else. And I never thought about it being specific to Detroit because I was here. I didn't know that other people didn't have it. I didn't know that it wasn't going on anywhere else. I didn't know it was going to make history or change the world or city through an event that brings people together. I never knew those things. I just love to dance. So, you know, as I've, you know, become an event producer in my life and was always inspired by the music, it started to inspire also my career in many ways. And, you know, what you see before you is, I think it's an incredible tribute to the greatest and highest use of music, which is to bring together people of every race and every creed and every lifestyle and style on this earth, from this world, to dance together free in the heart of a city without cost, no ticket price to make the crowd a specific type of person. And so techno to me is the energy of Detroit. It's the heartbeat of Detroit. It's something that has caused me to grow.
Tell me a little bit about the first festival, from the very beginning.
Well, the first festival was like giving birth, in a sense. I mean, you're excited. It's what you've always wanted, dreamed of, hoped for, especially myself, as I said, you know, as an event producer in this market for 10 years. I had produced other techno events that were important to me and to some people. And that first year, I just knew, after being one of the directors of the Montreux Detroit Jazz Festival for a number of years, and my love of techno, I just knew that combining the two for me would be like my mission, you know. So I fought for it, I cried for it, I prayed for it, and we all pulled together, and the city came through like no other city in America. And when it happened, it unfolded just as we knew it would in our hearts, because that's what made us do it.
Two more questions.
Okay.
The first one is, how did you feel when we told you, the museum told you, that we would be doing this exhibit? What was your reaction?
I was so excited for Detroit, because, and for the museum and for our history, because as far as, you know, Detroit's cultural contributions globally, I don't really think anything matches Detroit techno. And, you know, to be a part of that exhibit with this festival and understand that, you know, this festival is history in the making, is kind of a culmination of a celebration of our artists. And that's what the museum is doing, is kind of telling the story of this creation and this celebration that has inspired me, the world, you know, our city, the artists, the fans. It's just, I think it's going to be one of the most important showcases of Detroit creativity that we've ever seen, because it's all encompassing. I mean, this festival is about 1,000 people in Detroit that have dreamed dreams and worked hard as artists, producers, friends, believers, fans, dancers, and so that everybody can actually go and see something that they've lived and breathed in their lifetime being celebrated because of an event like this, calling attention to these artists, which was part of its mission. You know, I think that it's one of the most exciting things that I can imagine.
Last question.
Okay.
Why did techno